starts now.
Good evening, I'm Denise Sanitka. Thank you for joining us tonight. Jim has this evening off. And in your top story, intent to strike. Teachers in East Moline say that talks with the school board aren't going anywhere, and there's one sticking point that they can't agree on, so they voted to file an intent to strike. News 8's Jessica Dedita is live in East Moline tonight to explain what's next for teachers and the board.
Yes, Denise, the East Moline board meeting just wrapped up here about a half an hour ago, but the intent to strike comes after 9 months of failed negotiations with the board.
Teacher in another school
holding pictures of their families, members of the East Moline Education Association stood before the Board of Education making one final plea.
Am I worth less? Are they worth less?
It's a tough situation for us right now. We felt like we were pushed into a corner.
We have families.
It came down to stalled salary negotiations between the union and the East Moline board, and members have voted on an intent to strike.
If it doesn't happen, I guess us parents are going to have to show up and show out so you guys can hear our voices, because our children do matter.
East Moline teachers say they haven't had a pay raise since 2009.
Our neighboring districts are not having the problems compensating their teachers that our district has had.
But the school board says salary teachers already get a 2.6% raise. The union says teachers lowered their counteroffer from a 2.6 pay raise to a 1.7, but the board is only willing to add 1%. Leaving both parties on different pages.
Our hope is still that the district will come back to the bargaining table and provide an equal and fair contract for our members.
There's a 10-day waiting period before any strike can take place. Then there will be a second vote to approve the strike. But the Education Association says it's still open to both parties finding common ground.
Let's get back to work and let's get something done so that we can avoid such action for the students of East Moline.
And I talked to the superintendent, Christian Humphreys, after the meeting, and he says that no negotiations in the future have been set, but he says he's also always willing to meet with those who want to. He also says negotiations are getting closer, where the difference apart is about $190,000, and a couple months ago, that number was in the millions. Reporting live in East Moline, Jessica Dedita, WQAD News 8.
Thank you, Jessica. And right now there's no timetable for when that strike could happen, but the earliest would be February to meet state regulations. New at 10 tonight, the Davenport School Board is discussing plans to cut $18 million from its budget over the next 3 years. The Davenport superintendent says those cuts are needed because of falling enrollment and lack of adequate state funding. Some of these proposals include increasing class sizes, eliminating some positions, and offering early retirement. Nothing was voted on tonight. The superintendent says these are just ideas on ways to trim the budget. We'll have one more mild day of weather before winter will make a return. Chief Meteorologist James Zahara is in the Weather Center watching that for us tonight. Hi, James.
Hey, Denise. We've been spoiled just a little bit, I guess you can say. We'll be back to reality as we go through the week, or at least especially later in the week. Take a look at the numbers that we had currently for daytime highs, I should say. Upper 30s and lower 40s, very likely numbers that we could be seeing heading into tomorrow. All of us now currently are seeing temperatures in the 30s, 36 degrees in the Quad Cities after a daytime high of 41 degrees. And with those clouds sticking around through the overnight hours, I don't expect that temperature to fall too much. And those clouds will be persistent again in our forecast come tomorrow, all part of that storm system that will bring a little rain and also bring a little snow as well for our local area. We'll time it all out for you coming up in just a few minutes. Denise?
Thank you, James. And tonight, parents spoke out against a possible merger between two elementary schools in Moline. The district proposed it as a way to offer the same opportunities for every student and even out class sizes. But as News 8's Jenna Morton tells us, now there's another option on the table.
The Moline School District has thrown out the proposal to once again merge elementary schools. This time it would be Willard and Lincoln Irving. But at this Monday night meeting, parents came out to oppose the idea.
To me, everything points towards not doing this.
and there's got to be a better way.
The district is looking at merging the schools as sister schools, a way to even out class sizes and offer dual language at both schools. Right now, it's only offered at Lincoln Irving.
I'm going to read it first.
Students kindergarten through 3rd would go to Lincoln Irving, and 4th and 5th graders would attend Willard. But parents say it creates a transportation problem because the district doesn't provide it.
This is a definite burden for a family that works, 7 days a week like I do. I manage a bank, and it's hard for me to get my children back and forth to school, and I refuse to put them on public transportation.
And for some parents, this would be the second move for their kids after the district chose to close Garfield and Erickson.
I oppose this plan. I think you guys need to reconsider how some parents feel coming from Erickson, making them switch to Lincoln Irving, and now you guys want to switch them to Willard.
After hearing all the concerns, the superintendent recommended to keep the schools the same, but allowing parents to choose between dual language at Lincoln Irving or traditional programs at Willard.
Right now, you're sitting at Willard. It's a 1 class per grade level building, and so with that, you have some ups and downs as far as enrollment. So hopefully, this will help us even some of that out.
Jenna Morton, WQAD News 8.
Thank you, Jenna. The school district will hold more public meetings to see what staff and parents think of this recommendation before making any decisions. Any changes made won't go into effect until the next school year. A Quad City high school teacher and coach is out of the classroom tonight after a Twitter post that some are saying is offensive. United Township teacher Mark Kazmarek posted this tweet on Saturday. It reads, "Women's March, an impressive turnout, lots of pink hats and stuff. Then they all went home to make dinner. Well done, ladies." It includes a picture of a 1950s era housewife with a mixing bowl next to a picture of women marching on the U.S. Capitol. He later tweeted that he meant it as a joke. Right now, 2 petitions are circulating, one against the teacher in his tweet, another supporting him. Those backing the teacher say he has the right to freedom of speech. Others say it's a matter of breaking district policy.
Not only is this an issue of people are upset about what he's saying, but there are rules being broken by posting these sort of things.
The superintendent said in a statement today that the tweet does not reflect the views and values of the school board. Board members say they are reviewing the tweet. News 8 reached out to the teacher but didn't hear back. President Donald Trump was dismissive of Saturday's large-scale marches. He tweeted, "Watched protests yesterday, but was under the impression that we just had an election. Why didn't these people vote?" But later he added that peaceful protests are a hallmark of democracy, and he respects Americans' right to protest. Absentee ballots are now available for an upcoming special election in Scott County. Next Tuesday, voters will determine who gets to fill Senator Jim Lycom's seat. Lycom was elected to the Iowa Senate after a special election was held to fill the seat of the late Joe Sang. The 2 candidates running for Senator Lycom's seat are Democrat Monica Kurth and Republican Michael Gonzalez.
We're hopeful we're going to get a 10% turnout, but you never know, so we'll see what happens at the end of the day.
Voters have until Friday to request an absentee ballot. Mailed ballots must be postmarked by next Monday to be counted. Coming up here on News 8 at 10, overseas connections. Why investigators are now questioning phone calls between Russia and President Trump's national security advisor.
You're watching